Hello, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Whoa, who's that? Oh my god,
Um,
somebody's in here
what?
with me. Guys, I'm scared.
I'm in Athena's walls right now.
Oh god, guys, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me.
Holy
Guys,
shit!
who's
Arrow
that?
asteroid is in my
Oh
walls. Holy
shit.
shit!
God damn. Fuck. Okay, well anyway. With that litany of swear words out of the way, welcome everyone to the TCC quarterfinals results live stream. Dark and I are going to be co-commentating today, and we've got a really exciting show for you. I'm very excited to see to show it off.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have to say the thing I forgot. Hello everyone, my name is Dark. Anyway, that's all.
Yeah, you sure said that. Um, I'm not like a Twitch partner at all, so we're not going to have any of the nice things that Dark has on his Twitch channel, but we're going to make do, and it's going to be really cool still. So, without further ado, let's get into an overview of this round. The round 4 prompt was objects have become alive and now roam Earth, much like animals do. Over time, humanity's thirst for resources has led to these sentient objects being hunted, much like animals are. Naturally, in order to catch/kill some of these objects, humans have had to develop some creative hunting strategies. What's a unique hunting method that humans might use to hunt a specific object? Dark, who came up with this prompt again?
Uh, I wait. Who was? I think it was Neonic.
Yeah, it was Neonic because
Yeah. This is a scrapped Neon X prompt. I think.
oh right, yeah. I think we've gone through like dozens of prompt candidates, so let it be known that we are really trying to provide a quality product. Some of my prompts are really
Object prompts
bad.
are so awesome.
This is true. This is because we all know that you really love the object show community and you really enjoy. I don't even know what's current right now, other than the big two. So
Teapot.
teapot, yeah, there
My
you
fucking. I don't know.
go. All right. I
Some
don't know what the
object
next
show.
slide is. So we're about to find out together. Ah, right. It's
It's
the
the
VPR
VPR.
slide. Wow. Yeah. We got
Don't
84.
ask why two of the super voters were spontaneously deleted from existence. They fell out of a tree and then died. That's what happened.
Yeah. So we actually had 84.5 VPR this round. And it's always been 84.5 VPR. Yeah,
Never higher.
that is still that is a fantastic turnout. Thank you all for voting, and I think Dark is the one who promised to read the super voter names, and I haven't, so he's gonna do that instead of me.
Wow, can't believe it. Wow, you're really using me for free labor like this.
Yes, I do all the time. Anyway,
Why don't we both read like every other name?
I think we're gonna waste a lot of time if we do that, but we can. Let's go.
That's real. It's gonna be really funny. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start. Aaron,
Adamanti,
Algotistic,
Ameliorator,
Anartichoke,
Anne,
Arnoob,
Avocado,
AXN,
Azurite,
BFTIE fan 5346,
Big Beater,
Bubby617,
Cat World,
Series,
Kohaki apostrophe,
Cool Gamer 707,
Cringe Cat,
That Fat Cat 137,
Dragon,
Dumb Bacon,
Abe,
Fish on the Internet,
Funo apostrophe,
Ghost,
G-Man,
Gold Blocks,
Gray Sandwich,
Harry Soaps,
Henry,
How,
iRDM,
Italic,
J Dude,
Jack 4,
James Wood, full stop,
JEIVC exclamation mark space 101 space ampersand space 87,
Joe Man,
Julian Asal,
Capco,
Kenzal,
Koopa,
Lemon Venom 23,
Lime,
Live Nova,
Maple Sky. I actually don't know
Me
how
Like
that
Pie.
vowel is supposed to be pronounced. I'm sorry if you're watching.
I don't know. We're kind of just winging it. Me Like Pie 50,
Mr. McMikey 22,
Navy,
Normal Ben,
Not a Donut,
Anshu,
Orby,
Pengy Quinn,
PlasmicTrojan,
Poker the Poker.
Price Tag Fanatic.
Kuyuni. Is it Chuyuni? What is it?
I think it's Q Uni.
Q-Uni, okay.
Yeah, I think at least. Anyway,
Okay.
Quetzal.
Random Gamer 123.
Ref 32 Locked Out.
Scorb.
Sergeant Snivy.
Smooth.
Snoozing Newt.
Spooky.
Starsight.
Stealthy Septile.
Fane.
That Nerd Albert.
TieTiePerson.
Tree Nerd.
Twiggy.
Varigold.
Viridian.
I'm told this is pronounced Voy without the additional emphasis, so.
White Cyclosa.
Whole Note 1.
Whiskaz.
Knoppet.
Xyloba.
Yonelius.
Little Shit.
Come on, dude. You gotta say his name.
No, I don't have to.
Alright, fine. I'll say
you
it.
can.
Okay, alright, you said it. And Zettex. Alright, sorry, Yonelius. My bad. Anyway, thank you all for super voting. This is an incredible turnout, and I'm really glad to see that despite the length of this tournament, people are still showing up in droves to vote, and it really means a lot to us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all, especially for the fact that the number of super voters is finally a multiple of 3 this time.
True. We didn't have to subdivide the columns unevenly, so that's great.
Let's go.
I don't think we have any more slides, do we? Not really important ones.
Yeah, we don't. The next one is just the same one as the starting one.
All right, in that case, let's get right to it. I'm gonna launch the instance and then make sure it's set up, and then we'll start.
Holy shit.
If you have anything to say in the chat that you want me to read, you have to say it now, or else I'm never gonna read it.
Yeah, but I will read it, and I'm gonna mock you guys relentlessly for having said it.
All right, I think that's good. All right, there we go. Here's our first matchup. Dirk, do you want to read the one on the left? I'll do the one on the right.
I have to wait until
the stream
delay catches up. Okay. Anyway, alright, so, well, first, this is Zettex versus Spooky, and these are the DRPs. These are not the top responses. So, yeah, this is going to be our first matchup. Wait, is this? Okay, I guess we're doing this order then. I thought it was going to be another matchup first, but sure.
I literally just randomized the order and made sure that Trojan was last, so there's not much rhyme or reason to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, nothing suspicious there. Anyway, Zettex's response was, GPSs, renaming slaughterhouses, free food emporium, fools global navigation systems. So what do you think about that response, Athena?
I think it's a pretty good response. It's kind of humorous. Just imagine going about your day and going, I'm really hungry. Let me go eat. And then you're like, free food emporium? It's my lucky day. And then you go out back and then you just get your neck chopped off and you're dead. Get trolled, idiot.
That is so funny. That is such a funny concept. Anyway, I actually really liked this response when I read it, although I kind of stopped liking it as much when I realized the GPS part is kind of arbitrary. Like, I guess it makes it work a little bit better, but in theory, you could do the free food emporium thing with, like, pretty much any object. Like, there's no reason why only GPSs would be fooled by that.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but also I was imagining that, like, the reason why this would be so efficient against a GPS would be that it's named in some digital database, right, where the GPS would naturally have the advantage of navigating to specific areas, whereas other objects might not have that sort of access, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Although, like, I guess it's sort of, like, the way this was worded, it doesn't make it that much different from if you have, like, just renamed, like, put a sign in front of the slaughterhouse saying free food emporium. Like, I guess it was more a wording thing that was just hard to convey in 10 words.
That's fair enough. Alright. As for Zettex's competitor, Spooky's lower placing response was, jeans self-lacerate stylistically. Abandoned saw blades amputate. Shorts only waddle away. What a mouthful. Dark, do you have any comments about this one?
I think it was a bit, it had a lot like crammed in there, which might have made it hard to understand for like certain people, like why exactly like what exactly was the point of the last part, like is like sort of cutting jeans into shorts the hunting method, or do you like catch them after they become shorts because they're waddling away? I'm not exactly sure. I think this is a bit similar to Zettex's in the sense that like it sort of, I think, could have been way better conveyed if it had just a few more words. But like because of this, it sort of has a lot of ambiguity to it. Like why exactly is abandoned before the saw blades in quotes? Like what exactly does that mean for the response? Like, an ambiguity, it's not necessarily something that decreases your score, but it's going to add a lot more risk because it's up to the voters to interpret that either like in a good way or a bad way for your response. So it just adds variability. So
yeah, I remember somebody asking about what this meant in the TCC discussion channel, and my best interpretation of it is that there's sort of a double angle here too, because the self-laceration with jeans, torn and, otherwise ripped jeans are, it's like a fashion statement, it's a fashion trend, such that if a sentient pair of jeans wanted to accessorize or, otherwise change its appearance, it would try to, tear itself, such that if it wanted to do this, maybe it would look for a saw blade, and hence the abandoned in quotes. If somebody had left a saw blade that was seemingly abandoned but was actually weaponized, this human hunter could cut the jeans into shorts, and again, since these shorts would have less leg span, they'd be able to run away. They wouldn't be able to run away; they'd only be able to waddle, as the response said. And that was my greatest understanding of the response, and I'm not really sure if the average voter would have been able to get that amount of information out in a succinct manner.
Yeah, I think, like, if anyone was able to parse that, it's a pretty good sign for the response. Like, I think the whole concept is creative, but yeah, there is this ambiguity, like, in between the voter and this concept that might have made things a bit harder for this response to prevail. But yeah, it really depends on voters' interpretation, so kind of hard to predict at a glance.
Well, let's see how they did then. So, it wouldn't be exactly fun to just reveal who's placed where, because that, that would influence the odds, or at least the perceived odds of either of these people performing well. So, we're gonna leave these anonymous, actually, and you'll have to see who's who at the final reveal of this matchup.
You don't get full information yet.
You're not the knowers. We're the knowers. You're not.
Real. I love gatekeeping.
True. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, as they say. Anyway, let's see what these contestants' higher placing responses were. Shoutouts to Adam for designing that, by the way. I don't know if you're able to appreciate it in full because my computer's kind of at the verge of overclocking, but he custom designed this animation for the new reveal type. So anyway, Dark, would you like to read Zettex's higher scoring entry?
Alright, minting negative value anti-pennies fools piggy banks. Eating one makes them starve. So, I think first thing I have to notice about this response is piggy banks meant to be one word?
I think it's a valid concatenation, but yeah, it's typically 2 words. So you could see this as technically a 12-word response, given the negative value hyphenation as well.
Yeah, I guess. Although I think negative value was far more justified. But yeah, okay. Either way, I think the concept itself is pretty cool. Like, it sort of plays off the whole, like, antimatter thing, which I think a lot of star responses have done before, but in a more, like, but in a different context, so to speak. I think the way it relates to the piggy bank specifically, like adding this characterization that the piggy banks literally eat money to survive, and so you're kind of giving them anti-food to make them starve. I think that's a pretty creative way to take it. And like, I don't know, I think I've seen a couple of people be confused by it, but at least, like, for me, it was pretty clear at a glance what this response was going for, but I don't know if other people might have not agree with that.
Yeah, personally, this was actually my favorite response of the round. If I voted, and if I could have voted, I think I would have placed it first. If not second. I just think it's the, it's got like that sort of TWOW staple where you're given, you know, a sort of practical problem, and then you propose this really outlandish, absurd solution that's like inherently humorous, and it's also like, yeah, that's a neat concept. You really did engage with the prompt in really good faith. So, you know, I'm a big fan of this response personally. Anyway, I think that's enough said about Zettex's response. Spooky's higher scoring response was, thoughts yearn for their pairs. Reunions across mirrors captivate them. Now, we'll get to this later, obviously, but this was one of two responses that mentioned socks this round, so that's a bit of an unfortunate sandblast there. But they each approached their subject material a lot differently from each other, so maybe that didn't play into maybe that didn't factor into voters' thinking at all. But I like this response. It's very simple. It's very succinct, to the point. What have you? Any other synonyms I could come up for that phrase? Dark, what are your thoughts?
I think the mirror aspect of it is quite meta, so it's going to score 99%, I think.
99%?
But, yeah, seriously, I quite like the whole idea of, like, socks coming in pairs relating to mirrors thing. I think that was also pretty creative, even though it was a concept that was technically done by another response, although the concept there was pretty different, so I don't know how much the voters are going to care about that. But overall, I found this quite creative in general, like, of an association to make. And I think both of these are really good responses, honestly. At least I liked both of them a lot.
Yeah, I think you'd be starved for choice if you were to try to point out a response this round that wasn't really decent per se. The response quality of this round was really good overall. So either way, good responses as they may be, only one of these contestants can continue to the final four. Are you excited to see which one it is?
Oh boy. I mean, I already know the result, and I'm still excited.
Oh yeah. Alright. Without further ado, let's see who advances to the semifinals. And with that, Spooky has advanced to the final four of the TCC Championship. I said championship, but we're going to ignore that.
And, wow. Insane clutch from Spooky. I mean, we didn't even talk that much about the seeding numbers, because I don't think it really is a fair comparison of skill between these two players, since they're both super good. But even then, the 44 seed beating the 4 seed is quite insane. And huge accomplishment for Spooky for making it this far, for making it technically not just to the semifinals, but the finals as well. Even if they lose next round, they still get to be in the third place match. So Spooky is the first of 4 contestants who are going to advance to be able to respond to the next 2 rounds, not just the next round. So insane job to Spooky, and very unfortunate for Zettex. I really like Zettex's responses, so it kind of makes me sad that both of them placed below 50.
This is a very close matchup, all things considered, so well fought to the both of you. Good matchup. GG, go next. That being said, GG, go next. Let's see our next matchup. So here we've got a similar seed disparity as the previous match. In fact, I think it's an identical seed disparity. Seed 1 versus 41. TieTiePerson versus Viridian. We've got our top seed versus somebody 40 seeds above him. So, Dark, you want to start us off on the commentary here?
Response was spread optimism, rose-colored glasses, immobilized cars, stoplights appear red eternally. So, pretty good response, I would say. I think a lot of people sung this response as praises in TCC discussion. I can't quite remember, honestly. It's been like 3 weeks, so but it was pretty good overall. I think the concept was sort of God, what's the word I'm trying to look for here? I'm blanking on the word. I guess it's sort of I don't really like, it didn't really feel like it was necessarily sort of tailored to just cars. I don't like.
Felt like it was a bit of a general response.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed the rose-colored glasses concept, and I think I mentioned this earlier with Zettex's response. It's got that sort of TWOW absurdity, where it's like, you know, the literal solution doesn't exactly translate to the result, but, you know, it's like sort of an indirect thinking that you have to employ, because, you know, like, being optimistic doesn't literally place rose-colored glasses over your eyes, but it allowed the it's a very succinct idea, despite that, because, you know, cars stopped at, you know, and backed up at intersections are, you know, sitting ducks for these hypothetical hunters who are going to, you know, scrap them for parts. So overall, it's a really solid response.
Yeah, I think you did kind of hit on the head what I meant to say there. Like, the whole sort of leap of logic with the whole rose-colored glasses thing. Mm-hmm. Like, made it sort of seemed a little bit forced, like, in a way. But either way, I think the association might have come across as more clever than forced for some viewers, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they thought of it. As for TieTie's competitor, Viridian's lower scoring response was wordplay. Scarcely populated areas foster automobile infestations, yielding abundant resources. So, it's a little bit funny that we have the two car responses up against each other here.
Yeah.
Also, I think you have a comment to make about the double space in between populated and areas here.
Oh yeah, so funny story, the first 3 rounds of TCC, all of them had triple-digit length responses. There was I think there was a 103, there was a 106, and then a 102 in the first 3 rounds or something like that. And this response is the longest one submitted this round. It keeps that pattern by being exactly 100 characters. Even though the only reason it's 100 characters is it's because of the fucking double space between populated and areas, which is there for, like, no reason, and it happens to, like, bring the response up to 100. Was it intentional, Viridian? Apparently Viridian says it was intentional. I honestly don't really believe you, but still, that's quite funny.
Alright, let's stop talking about the syntax of the response, and we can talk about the content.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is... In a way, it's kind of similar to TieTie's response in that it sort of uses sort of a logical leap. Like, obviously, you can't really... Like, the wordplay thing isn't, like, actually the hunting method. Like, sort of, you have to believe that somehow contributes to the fact that, like, sort of, that scarcely populated areas are just gonna have a bunch of cars living in them. And, like, that relates to wordplay, which is not exactly a hunting method. So, like, in a way, it's similar to TieTie's response and it relies on that lethal logic, but either way, it has the wordplay in it, I think it's pretty interesting use of the wordplay overall.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know exactly. I kind of know the last sentence, yielding abundant resources, does kind of seem like it's kind of disconnected, because obviously in this prompt, the whole getting resources thing is part of why the humans would hunt these objects, but it sort of uses words to rephrase that when it could have added to the concept of what the method actually is for hunting them.
Yeah, it feels like that final clause doesn't, like, you could add that to probably most any response in this round, and it would function just as well. So it does feel like a sort of, it did strike me as a little strange the first time I read this response, but I don't really think that would consciously affect a voter's rating of this response. Well, so, you know, we'll just have to see how these two stack up to each other in tube reveals, because you guys don't get to see which is which. Without further ado, I think we can see how these two did. Wow, what a gap. That is over 40%. That is a
yeah. I think it's pretty safe to say that TieTie's a bit fucked, honestly. I mean, Viridian's DRP placing 63%.
Well, I mean, hey,
that's fucked.
All that matters is the top one. This doesn't really matter. It just means, you know, somebody could have completely choked it, and somebody got 70, the other person gets 64. You know. You never know.
If you've been paying attention, that happened to Zettex last matchup. Zettex had the higher score in DRP, but ended up losing, so...
Yeah.
You never know.
That actually caused a bug when we were testing this for the first time. I was wondering why the line was stopping prematurely, and it's because of the winner determination logic got a little screwed up because of the DRPs. But, that sort of trivia aside, let's see how, what their higher scoring responses were. Alright, Derek, if you would do the honors of reading TieTie's.
Okay, as soon as I can actually see it. Oh my god, it appeared for me, I can't believe this! Okay, TieTie's response was, lure abacuses into farmlands, reflexively counting sheep, they sedate themselves, which is, I think, a really nice play on the whole counting sheep thing. Funny enough, I think I saw a response really similar to that one in EWOW, but
really?
I guess it's sort of coincidental. The whole. Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Really? Like, what prompt would that have been in response to for you?
No, this one, like the current one, the false facts one. I think there was a prompt. There was a response that relied on pretty much the same concept, the same association.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, really solid response, honestly. There's like. It's a very direct line of logic. It, you know, it relies upon like a common knowledge that your average voter surely would know, and it's a very effective method of, well, you know, sedating your targets if you're a hunter, and I think TieTie's word choice here really does pay off as well, because you know, they fall asleep definitely doesn't pack as much of a punch as they sedate themselves. It's a very cheap, flashy ending to the response, so to speak. Guys, I think Dark died.
That's true. I died. I'm so sorry.
Dang.
Unfortunately, I passed away due to a heart attack. I mean, I don't really have anything to add.
Yeah.
I just think it was a pretty creative connection.
Yeah, okay. In that case, let's look at Viridian's higher scoring response. Studying discography, hunters track musical migrations. Intercepted cassettes become digitalized. So, off the bat, there's actually a sort of small pun here. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but, you know, tracking in that, you know, you can be stalking your prey, and also, you know, a musical track, obviously, you know, is the sort of fun here. So that's a nice bit of flavor there. And otherwise, it's It's honestly it's kind of an interesting. It's got an interesting bit of gruesomeness to it, even. Like, if you're a sentient cassette and then you get picked up and turned into a MP4, how does that feel? Like, I'm sure some of you in the audience are Gen Alpha, so you've never seen a cassette, but you know, they've got the magnetic tape they've got the magnetic tape strip that, like, I think I've seen, actually in some other animated shorts where, like, that sort of tape is, like, looks like intestines if you, like, reel it out. So, you know, honestly kind of a bloody response if you think about it.
Yeah, there's kind of some brutal interpretations to it. I mean, you could also think that it's sort of like if a human were to upload their consciousness onto a computer, I guess, which is, I guess, sort of a less extreme way of thinking about it.
Yeah, and see, that's the plot of the Matrix. They put you on the computer, and then when you're living your fake digital life, they're grabbing you and then they're harvesting your liver because livers are tasty, I guess. That's actually not what The Matrix is about. If you haven't seen it, go watch The Matrix.
The Matrix is actually about cassettes being digitalized.
True. The Matrix was made by somebody who really liked vinyl.
And TWOW.
True. Anyway, I think that's enough faffing about. Let's see which of these two contestants will be moving on to the Final Four. And with a commanding 30% margin, TieTiePerson has advanced to the Final Four.
Yeah, and Viridian moves on. Oh, wait, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. No, Viridian doesn't move on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
This is so sad. I can't believe Viridian's DRP did not get 63%.
Honestly, Viridian's response was getting these scores was a little surprising to me when I looked at the results for the first time. I didn't think any of these responses were, like, sub 20 range, but I guess voters disagreed with me on that. Yeah, that was a dominant showing from TieTiePerson, who showed why he's seed number 1, I guess.
Yeah, he eliminated Goukisan in round 2, who is 15, and Viridian, who is 17, so I guess TieTie's just a child killer.
Viridian was 4.
Oh yeah, true.
Alright, seriously though, great showing from both of y'all. It's been a pleasure having both of you, but, you know, at the end of the day, only one of you can move on. So that will be TieTie. Is TieTie against Spooky? I don't remember what side.
Yes, TieTie and Spooky are going to face each other in the semifinals.
Right, that's going to be exciting. I'm really thrilled to see it. Do you want to take a quick break? I actually need to go get some water.
I'm fine with that.
Too. All right, okay.
I actually have water right here, so you can go and I can entertain the stream.
All right, I'll switch to the lounge while you're gone.
All right. This is going to be so awesome. Is Athena gone? Alright, chat. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up twitch.tv/arrowasteroid and go follow me. You can just unfollow Athena, honestly. Like, who cares about Athena, you know? This is not the channel you want to be following, you know? You want to go to the Arrow Asteroid channel. It's way better. Like just saying, you know, and okay, I don't know what else to say to fill up time. How are you doing today, chat? Follow Arrow Asteroid if you like committing manslaughter. Unfortunately, that's not my channel name, so manslaughterers not welcome here. So goodbye. Child murderers, though, on the other hand. Okay, sorry. It's okay, TieTie. We got a safe space for you in the Arrow Asteroid channel. Hey, it's not my channel, so who cares? Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm giving Dark the silent treatment. Wow. It's okay, TieTie. Because when you lose to Spooky by a 99%, you'll be the one who's speechless. Or I guess you're already speechless. Fuck, that didn't work at all.
Hey, Dark, I have 2 words for you.
Is it TWOW Central?
No, it's Bluetooth headphones.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Also,
anyway, I love this channel chat. I think it's really cool. I think it's the best Twitch channel. You should
much
all
better
follow.
than that Arrow Asteroid motherfucker.
I don't know if I would say that honestly, but hey, if I'm being forced to with a gun to my head and someone threatening to kill me, I would say it.
What do you mean, Dark? I'm not in the same location as you. I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I live near Wall. Oh wait, oops. Okay, that's a problem for me actually. I gotta get out of here. Hold on.
God dang.
Need to go back to Brazil real quick.
Okay. All right. So results after Dark finishes flying to Brazil.
All right, I finished.
Dang, that was fast.
I'm just super fast like flyer.
That's why he's the goat.
Real.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. I think we can start results again in a bit. I also don't really care if this Twitch channel gets banned. I'll be real. I don't do anything with it other than.
I don't think it's actually gonna get banned. Also, I gotta highlight an epic asking, "Hey Dark, how's Twitter been lately?" Way better than it's ever been because I don't have to be on it.
You're free.
I am free.
Anyway, I will switch back to the results tab and we will start again. Okay. On to our third matchup.
Oh my god.
So, while Dark's side of the stream starts buffering, I'll announce that this is Seed 14, not a donut, versus Seed 11, iRDM. A very, very balanced matchup in terms of seeding. So, hopefully they'll give us a very, very close reveal. Anyway, Dark, take it away.
Unfortunately, it's not a very balanced matchup in terms of number of limbs on the book. I think Matt is kind of crushing iRDM on that one.
Wow, okay, so are we just shit-talking iRDM now? Wow, you know, I don't even care. I'm not gonna get his name right. Fuck that.
We can shit-talk Matt too. For example, this garbage response he wrote. Give coins unbreakable scratch tickets. Perpetual grinding eventually decomposes them.
What the fuck, man? That's bullshit.
This is such a garbage response, man. Okay, that's actually
that's
kind of good. I can't even shit talk it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like the idea of taking the whole scratching tickets with coins thing to a logical extreme, where the coins literally fucking erode themselves by grinding on the tickets too much. That's pretty funny to imagine and pretty creative as well.
True. Gambling kills, as they say. No, they actually say that smoking kills, but smoking and gambling are about the same thing. When you smoke, you're gambling for cancer.
True.
But yeah, a pretty brutal response, all things considered. Converts you into a fine gray mist because you ground yourself to death. What are you gonna do about it? But yeah, solid response overall. Really good. iRDM's response is ruin clothing's camouflage with intentionally mixed colored laundry loads, simplifying tracking. What another mouthful. But all things considered, long words aside, it's a very straightforward concept. I like it.
I do like the sort of parallel concept where like the clothes are like sort of, I guess, being in like a washing machine is sort of kind of like hygiene for like sentient clothes, and so like and you can ruin their camouflage by like sabotaging the laundry loads, which is really funny, and it's also quite creative to sort of use, like, similar to other responses, similar to Nads as well, use something that's like part of a behavior that object itself would exist with, to use as a hunting method to exploit the object's behavior specifically, instead of like setting a trap or whatever that captures the object. So it's quite creative in that sense. So is Nads. I quite like both the concepts.
Yeah, you know, these objects, fuck them. Criminalize their existence. Make them feel bad they were ever born.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't have any other further commentary other than the fact that I think currently we have 0 Americans in the top 4, and 3 of them were coming into the final 8. So, after we see both these revealed, we might have 0. Isn't that exciting? I hate Americans.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now I'm rooting against Ned, honestly.
True. I'm still gonna scream God fucking damn it if either of these contestants win. Anyway, without further ado, let's see how their responses did. Alright, the lower these scored 46.11, the higher scored 60.34. Honestly, despite the about 15% gap, an impressive showing given that these are both the lower responses. So good job, contestant.
Yeah, I think there is still a bunch of potential for either of these, really, because with DRPs that are this quality, like concept-wise, I think we're down to see a really good matchup with the main responses.
So yeah, let's see how their what their mains are. All right, we're gonna wait for Dark to catch up, and then he'll read Nats.
Oh, I can't believe I have to catch up. Oh my god, it's coming on screen. Holy shit! Complement printers running low on blues. They become critically impaired. Wow, fuck you, Nab.
Dude, you think this is a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Ned. Anyway.
Anyway, so I like the whole play on the whole riff on the printers stop fucking working even though they're only missing one color, which is annoying as hell.
Oh yeah.
And it also sort of is similar to TieTie's response in the way back with the whole optimism thing, where it sort of relies on a leap of logic, like realistically speaking, but the association between the two concepts is what drives the response and not how it would work in practice.
They're both about colors too.
True, and they're both about complementing.
True.
So, like optimism, positivity.
Yeah, I think if you're an optimist, you should be hung at the stake, but, you know, like, not hung at the stake, hung at the gallows and had a stake driven through you, but, you know, that's just me personally.
Yeah, and also, this response being similar to TieTie's response got, like, I think, low 60s as well, so either way, about the same range as the top response, as the top DRP right here, so who knows, like, whether this might have done a little bit worse or a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
Like, it could go, like, either way.
Truly. iRDM, man, I fucking hate that guy. He read a response. Dodged it. Let's read it for the group to see. upgrade-hungry computers upgrade-hungry computers seize off-brand SS decoy bait. Contracted viruses cripple them. So, I actually really, really like this response. I can't even do the I hate you bit with it. I think SS decoy is a really, really clever turn of phrase.
Yeah, it takes a Trojan concept of just making up words.
True. Fuck that guy. But yeah. There's actually an interesting similarity here with like the sort of what response? It's kind of similar to the GPS one, in that, you know, iRDM's hunting method is like you literally put down poison bait and you kill the computer. But no, there's another. I'm thinking of a different response. I don't think it's Zettex. Which one is it?
I mean, I guess
it was Zettex's other one, the piggy bank one. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, correct, that one.
But yeah.
Anyway, the whole SS decoy thing is obviously like the main sticking point of the response. It's a nice, clever use of wordplay there. And I do like the characterization it does with the whole upgrade hungry thing. Gives like sort of a motivation for why the computers would seek out SSDs, I guess, which would be like sort of their food, even though they might be like corrupted or contaminated. So yeah, it does provide a pretty good explanation for how they could be baited, and I think this response works like pretty much on all levels. Like even the realism in quotes one, as much realism as can be had in the world where fucking objects are sentient. But yeah.
Computer hungry, feed an upgrade. Anyway, we'll
I'm
see.
hungry. I'm gonna eat a hard drive right now.
True, you should do that. All of you in chat, have you eaten enough gigabytes today? Remember, with the FDA recommends that you eat at least 8 gigabytes each day. So if you haven't gotten that amount yet, get to it. Anyway, let's see if the American extermination will continue, and see which of the 2 contestants will be advancing to the final 4. I'm a man of my word. I need to do this. God fucking damn it!
Oh my god. No, iRDM. That response was so awesome. It's so sad that it only got 54%.
Yeah. An unfortunate AABB pattern, again, of responses here. Both of NADs beating both of iRDMs. But, a pretty close matchup, all things considered. Well fought by both contestants.
Yeah, only 8% gap. It's not that far apart.
Yeah. With this, though, NAD denied the American extermination, which means there will be a Yankee in the final 4 in the next 2 rounds. We can't get rid of him, can we?
Yep, and this settles 3/4 of the contestants that we have decided so far. Next round is going to be TieTie versus Spooky, and it's going to be NAD versus the winner of Trojan versus Pi, which is going to be one hell of a matchup to end on. So let's get to it.
All right. Trojan, love you, man. You're always going to be last revealed. Alright. For starters, this matchup is the greatest seed disparity we've seen perhaps since, I want to say round 1, actually, which was TieTie versus, the DNPer, yeah. Was that Rim? I don't know. But either way, this is Seed 2 versus Seed 58. Trojan, who's won the previous 3 rounds consecutively, versus Pi, who has had a astounding performance throughout this championship and is looking for the upset of the century. So
Yeah,
Dark?
for pretty much 3 upsets in a row, I think. I don't remember if any of their opponents were lower seeded, but I think 3 upsets in a row and looking to get to a 4th right now. So let's see if I can do it. It's going to depend on Trojan's responses a lot. And his DRP was, soap poachers employ acting. Preachy anti-hunting speeches attract literal soapboxes, which follows the good old Trojan pattern of doing wordplay and putting it in quotes to make it like extremely clear for everyone for all the voters to get it. So checks out in general. It's pretty nice fun. I think not necessarily super easy to understand. I don't think everyone might know what a soapbox is or how it relates to the preachy bit. But if you understood that, it was probably pretty easy to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think something that Trojan does very well, specifically, is that he always really thinks about the clarity of his responses and how they're received at a first glance. So I think it's really easy as a TWOWer to get in on your own head and think about, like all the implicatures of your response that might get left off the page as you finish writing your response. But Trojan, this response exemplifies his attention to detail in this regard. I think it's very clear, very concise, and it only really requires you to know what a soapbox is, both definitions to, understand the pun. So, very good response from Trojan. I would have expected nothing less of him. On the other side, high 50s response is hold feet, trap laundromats, where solitary socks seek lost mates. So a bit of a similar response to Spookies, I believe. Yeah. This is the other sock response. Utilizes the fact that socks come in pairs to sort of lay the groundwork for trapping them in this hunting. Instead, doesn't use the mirror, but instead proposes hijacking laundromats, which I guess you could sort of see as a sentient lost and found, or I guess you could also say it's a bar, I guess, like a singles night.
Yeah, in a way, it sort of adds a bit of imagery that's kind of similar to what iRDM did earlier with the whole what do sentient clothes do in laundromats if they are still a thing. And so I think in that vein, it's sort of the other really good viable place to have this concept, the whole socks seeking their mates thing. One of them was mirrors and the other was laundromats. Although, so yeah, in that vein, it makes it a pretty similar response to Spookies. I think the only loose end might be that trap laundromats sort of wording, where I think some people, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense to think that way, but some people I think got caught up in thinking that the word after trap is just going to correspond to what you're trapping, and so they're thinking, wait, how does it make sense to trap a laundromat, hunt a laundromat? So if you got it was kind of a garden path sentence in that way, but if you got past that and understood the concept, I think it was pretty easy for the creativity to shine through. It's a pretty nice concept. I think that also makes it pretty similar to Trojan's DRP in a way, since that one also relies on a bit of sort of, I guess not interpretation of the sentence, but prior knowledge of what soapboxing means. Mm-hmm. So I think sort of ambiguities in both responses that could drag them down a bit, but overall pretty creative concepts.
All right, let's see how they did. Right, that's quite a gap. the 52% response performing about twice as well as the 24% one. Again, still anybody's game, but the disparity beginning to show here.
Yeah, and even 52% is not like super high of a score either way. It's about the same level as a lot of other people's DRPs, even though some of them obviously got a lot lower. It's looking like it really was just a few responses that really tanked in comparison to the rest, and the other ones placed pretty highly. So I think, sort of disregarding those bottom responses, the average is allowed to be much higher than just 50%. So I think the scores might be a little bit inflated in that sense.
Alright, yeah. On to the final responses of the round. Alright, Dark's a little behind, so I'll just say.
No.
It's a little interesting. I think Trojan and Pi both wrote two responses that were sort of similar to each other. Trojan really driving home the nature of his pun with his quotes, and then Pi really relying upon the staple of short sentence / question, explanation, exclamation mark. But, you know,
the meta.
The meta. Anyway,
the first contestant to get me like Pi 50 trillion%.
True. Anyway, Dark.
Alright. Trojan's response was, interrogation. Captured newspapers reveal hideout locations. Disclosing sources is policy. Which, I think, in the formatting, in, like, general strategy, it's pretty similar to his, DRP, which, again, might have scored 24 or 52%, we don't know yet. But, it sort of does rely on that whole wordplay and quotes thing again, which Trojan usually does, and this time it's sources being both a newspaper term and sort of, I guess, corresponding to like where the newspapers are, although using the word source for that is a bit weird, feels a bit stilted, might have been a bit harder to understand for voters. But if they do understand it, like how the word sources is meant to fit in there, I think just like the soapboxes one, it's pretty easy to understand that like why the association was picked, sort of a double meaning joke, pretty bread and butter stuff.
Yeah, I'm reading TCC discussion right now, and some people are saying that there's a little bit of they had a little confusion regarding sources being confused with, like, you know, citations and human sources, informants, so to speak, rather than, places of residence, where people might come from, which is clearly what Trojan was trying to allude to, given the use of the concepts of hideouts. But I think that's enough said about his response. Let's look at Pi's. Use laser pointers. BDs instinctually spin in place, incapacitating themselves. I think it's this is actually a really cute response because it sort of invokes the imagery of like playing with your pets with a laser pointer, especially
yeah, it makes the CDs look like cats basically.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but yeah, obviously this is referencing the fact that these sort of optical discs are read using a laser and interpreting data off the disc, though I think that's more of a DVD technology given the expansion of that, but I couldn't find a source for that. You'd have to go look it up. I might just be talking out my ass here, but yeah.
Hey, since when do TWOWers know what they're talking about?
That's true.
Anyway, I think the main strength of this response really is in the imagery, the whole, the laser pointer having sort of true reasons to be there, both to characterize the CDs as sort of close to animals, such as what the prompt required, in the same way a cat is gonna chase around the laser pointer if you point the laser at a wall or something, and in the sense that it has to do with CDs specifically because of how old CDs are read. So I think in that sense it's a really nice association to have. Again, I don't know if everyone had the same sort of thought in their head popping up when they read this response about the CDs, sort of just having animalistic behavior and that fitting with the prompt, but in a way that's just similar to the ambiguity that we've seen in all the other responses so far about like a certain angle that the voters might not have noticed that might contribute a bit to the score of the response being lower. So I think either way, both these responses have their weaknesses, but I think both in concept do really well to sort of propose an association that the voters might enjoy if they understand them. So I think this could be anyone's game.
Yeah, really. Anyway, there's a lot of things that are going to be decided here. If Pi wins, the Americans will have 2 out of 4. Not as much as they had before, but certainly keeping the plurality if he wins. And if Trojan wins, the Juggernaut continues his rampage. And as well as the last Canadian representative will continue representing his country in this case. Very exciting, very tense. Without further ado, let's see who our Final Four competitor is. And he still has it by a margin of 0.03%. Both the Trojans' responses defeat Pi's. What a matchup.
And yeah, unfortunate for me like Pi, but Trojan takes another matchup, does quite well, 66%. Doesn't win the round. TieTie's response still scored higher, but in general, makes it to the Final Four, and very deservingly so, with a pretty nice response, pretty creative, although so was Pi's response, which makes it sad that he has to go as well, but such is the game. So yeah, great job to Trojan, unfortunate for Pi, but that concludes our journey to figure out who the Final Four is going to be.
Yep. In a moment, I'll show you the leaderboard and the updated bracket, but quick remark I want to make. At the Final Four, we finally have a unique representative for each country. Spooky representing the Philippines. TieTie representing the Netherlands. Nad representing the Americans, the many fallen. And Trojan, of course, representing the Canucks.
Wow, I can't believe it. We finally have diversity in TWOW.
This is what the woke left wanted. The woke left has won today.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Okay, it's in media, right? It's the HMLs.
Yeah.
Okay.
The woke left has won. Repost if you've left.
All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. That is not the right application. I need to remove Firefox from my computer, I think. Anyway, here we go.
Wow.
So here's the leaderboard. First up, we have TieTie with a impressive 71.56 victory. All the standard deviations, there's not much to write home about. They're all floating around 30. But he defeats Trojan by around 5%. A little bit less than that, actually, because of how the 66.91 on Trojan's part. But TieTie nearly getting first and second with his responses. Very, very impressive.
TieTie pretty much crushing the round. Pretty much showing why he's the 1 seed.
Though that's not to diminish the accomplishments of Not a Donut in any respect, because look at that. 2 responses. What a feat. were it any other round, I'm sure that this would be what everyone would be talking about. Going down, iRDM is unfortunately our highest ranked eliminee, and then Spooky is our lowest ranked qualifier in Super Final Four. And
just 0.2% apart too. If iRDM had placed a little bit lower, we would have had the perfect top half, bottom half separation.
Yep, very close. Score fall off doesn't really happen until iRDM's second response, and then it sort of peters off into the 30s and 20s.
Yeah, falls off quick after, especially after Spooky's DRP with the 24 and the 19, which is way lower than we've seen in both either of the past two rounds, I believe.
I suppose that when we're in this sort of round where these responses, you know, like a lot of contestants are really making sure to bring the heat, it really separates the good from the great responses at this point, and you know, we see these sort of trends start to emerge. Very brutal round, all things considered. Well done to everyone, even if you know, you didn't win your matchup.
Yeah, I mean, just getting to this point in the game in general is pretty much something worth celebrating, and we are celebrating it with the alumni role, so you still get to keep that even though you're eliminated. So good job to everyone who, even if you got eliminated just now, just good job in general if you managed to get it.
Anyway, let's go take a look at our bracket. So,
oh my god.
Over here we have a run that we can really only describe as ferocious, with a 70, 50, 60, 70 tie, leading him to his matchup with Spooky in 61, the first of the two semifinals. Spooky, of course, doing well for himself, coming in with a commanding 64% victory in the round of 16, defeating Zettex by a hair's width this round to face the formidable TieTie. Very exciting to see. Very exciting match. Surely to come up. Hopefully we can host it within a week or two.
Yeah, TieTie obviously needs no introductions when it comes to TWOW. Just an all-around dominator, one of the best of all time. And Spooky has been proving himself quite a lot these past few rounds, doing really well just in general, getting some insanely high scores, especially in rounds 1 and 3, with some insanely creative responses. And he's been here for a really long time. Sprafty alumni represent here. So very nice to see someone who's been around for this long make their mark in the competition as like in 2024, the year of our Lord. So yeah, I think just as the other matchup, I mean, obviously Final Four, everyone is going to be a powerhouse, but this matchup is amazing. It's going to be fireworks, absolutely. And I really could see either of them taking it. I think Spooky definitely has a really good chance against TieTie, even if TieTie is seen, like, even if TieTie has that one seed next to his name, even if he's been such a dominant force as well.
Absolutely.
It's just unstoppable force versus immovable object on both sides of the bracket, really, because on the other side we have Trojan versus Nad, which is
oh god,
two of the best towers in recent memory. They've done pretty much, they've crushed every single round, both of them, so far. So yeah, like, kind of hard to think of a more climactic matchup we could have gotten here at this stage of the game on this side of the bracket in the semifinals. I think both of them really pretty much, like, they obviously deserve to be here. It's not even worth saying, because just by their names alone, just by the fact that it's Trojan and Nad, you already know they're here because they deserve it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to see how this one goes. Two matchups that are really as stacked as can be in this stage of the game. And yeah, as a little bit of a reward for our Final Four contestants who have given their all to get here, even if they lose this next round, they're still going to be able to respond to the finale, although not compete for the win. They'll still have access to the bronze game and the battle for third place. So even that's going to be an exciting matchup too. But yeah, I think the big focus is on the finale. Who is gonna make it there? It's just gonna be a really interesting fight, like regardless of what combo it is. So yeah, I'm really hyped to see it all go down. So yeah, I don't think I have much else to say.
Yeah. I just want to say, well, the sort of talk of the town in hypotheticals are, TieTie versus Trojan for the obvious, highest seeds, and they've never had a finale face off. I think, personally, I think Spooky versus Trojan would be really funny, just for the sort of children who shouldn't have been on Discord in 2017, facing as proper adults in the year of our Lord 2024. I think that would go really hard.
Yeah. And either way, if Spooky and Nad both beat their opponents, we do get TieTie versus Trojan just as the third place match instead of the finale.
Indeed.
Which is really funny to imagine, like, such an insane matchup as TieTie versus Trojan, 1 seed and 2 seed, happening as the third place match and not the finale. But it's completely
very
possible. It's very plausible. I mean, it could pretty much go either way on both of these matchups. So I'm very excited to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And this is obviously a full round out, but my sort of wish list, like my stretch of a hope, for the finale round is that the round winner of that round comes from the bronze game rather than the finale. I think it'd be really funny to see.
And yeah, so good job to our 4 semifinalists. You made it. Quite insane.
Been a long journey. We're bringing it to a close. So I hope you're all prepared and excited for what we have in store for the semifinals. So I think without further ado, I'll switch back the overlay and we'll end the stream. Thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the reveal, even if it wasn't, primarily hosted by the GOAT. But it's how it is.
I can't believe a TWOW Central Championship results reveal would only have Dark speaking 45% of the time instead of 100%.
Yeah. No channel predictions, sadly, but no. It's okay. You guys were bad at those anyway.
True.
Anyway, I think that's all. This is Athena signing off. Thank you for coming.
And this is Dark signing off, which is the much awesomer sign off. Fuck you.
Dude, you made me so mad. You pissed me off so much. I'm just gonna end